What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Champion Living Podcast, where we believe that consistency, perseverance, and not taking life too seriously are the keys to success. I'm Doug, the founder and owner and head coach of Champion Living Fitness. Each week, I'll be joined by my coaching staff with the vision of providing trustworthy information about fitness, nutrition, and mindset, and how this all applies to being a professional rodeo athlete, as well as people from all walks of life. Are you ready to become a champion? Let's go. My hair.
I will sympathize with you, but
I don't have really to... I don't understand why people are like, oh my gosh, your hair is going away. It's like, is that a big deal? I don't understand like why that's like it's become like the status of like age or so. Oh man. I'm like, I don't like, turns out I'm still me with no hair.
Yeah, you know, my friend Tanner Mendel, he's been going bald since he was 18. So it really doesn't.
I was gonna say, like, there's plenty of people like they're mid-20s, like their hair.
I'm like, I don't understand. I just don't understand like the negative connotation between like losing. You know what I'm saying? It's like vanity,
baby.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's
gray
never,
hair is a crown of wisdom.
Never made sense to me.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Says the guy that's going bald, right? But I mean, it's like
he's like, what's wrong with it? Everything's fine. Yeah. Everything's fine. Nothing's wrong. I'm not freaking out.
Yeah, I definitely am not going to spend any money to try to get it to come back. I can tell you that for sure. Like, I
would just shave it
for sure. I'm going to have to at some point in time. Every time I go get a haircut, it gets closer. It gets closer and closer to being shaved.
Yeah,
you might look like you join a certain group if you do that.
Yeah, for sure. Yes,
the group that shall not be named. How are you guys? That all started out of just, I don't even know how that happened.
Random.
Where are we? I blacked out.
What's going on here?
We're good. Same old.
Good.
Taking kids to school and working.
Nice. What are you working on?
Just a little bit of everything. Some trainings. Been going the last, like, I really got it from Paul, but the last, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months, something like that. I've been doing with different like populations of my clients, doing like trainings on whether it's like goal setting or
in whatever. Your group.
Yeah. Or... in my group specifically, but it's anyway. So I've been working on some trainings. One of the guys wanted a few of the guys wanted a deep dive into the biomechanics of bareback riding. And I'm like, cool. Well, I will do my best. However, number one, I'm not smart enough for that. Number two, there is like absolutely no research around, like, the closest thing I've found is that we have up to 46 G's of force experience during a bareback ride, which turns out is extremely violent.
What's that comparable to?
A very, very violent car wreck. Like, not just like a fender bender. It's like,
how many G's do astronauts experience?
Yeah. Say what now?
How many G's do astronauts experience going into?
Oh, I don't know. That's a great question. Can ask some freaking Google real quick. It looks like Paul's on it. Yeah. So I've been working on that, and it's been so much fun. But one of the aha moments I had, and I'm almost even hesitant to give it away because I feel like I've leveled up as I don't know. I don't know the practicality of the information yet. But yesterday, Paul and I were talking, and he was explaining the motion of a bull, and if you just watch the bull rope, where it goes during the course of an 8-second ride. And I'm like, okay, yeah, it comes down and then it goes up and forward and down and up and forward. And he's like, no, go watch a bareback ride.
No.
And I'm like, so I pull up and watch. Yesterday, I probably watched 20 bareback rides, and all I saw was the rigging. I just looked directly at the rigging. It's insane. That sumbug hits, goes backwards, and then shoots up and forward. Hits, and when it shoots backwards, that's the intrinsic timing that guys develop to rip them. And then when you, like, you know, one of the big things that I took away from OPA and listening to Cade Sunye teach was he used this term, jump off your back, like jump off your low back at him. But that rigging hits, comes back, you rip your feet, and then as that rigging shoots forward, that's that jumping off your low back, and that's that whack, and that's that catching them as they go. And then like that's the not just beating them to the ground, but beating them to the kick, whack, and catching them before they even kick. Anyway, so I've just been nerding out for the last couple days over here, having a great time.
Beating him to the kick is such a important cue, I think, and is not used. If I don't think you're anywhere really.
Yeah.
Everyone says beat him to the ground, right? Which is that's how we were taught. And yeah, you definitely got to beat him to the ground. But if you can beat him to the kick, we are at a whole different level.
100%.
Yeah. Paul, what'd you find?
Yeah, the astronauts is not that cool. The 3-6.
Huh?
3 to 6 G's.
3 to 6 G's for astronauts?
Well, it's probably it's probably
losers.
designed like that so that they're not, 30 G's, you're getting injured. You know, like
yeah, that's fair.
You're not trying to kill your astronauts when you're getting them.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. That's a good point.
It does happen.
So what it was equivalent to like a NASCAR car wreck? Is that what you said?
Yeah, 30. This is a 30 mile per hour front end collision with a seatbelt on would be 30 G's at impact.
Yeah.
And so, like, I mean, you think about, I don't know if there's a direct correlation of like miles per hour to, like the stopping force in G's or whatever. But yeah, beyond 50 G's, there's a significant risk of serious injury or death, is what this says.
Wow.
And we do that every week. 5, 6,
multiple
7 times. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's incredible.
It is absolutely incredible that the human body can do that repetitively, and not just like a few weeks, like years and years and years. And it just shows that you will get used to it. Your body will get, and not that doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing, but if you are training appropriately and you're doing this thing regularly, we call it rodeo shape, and you can be in the best shape of your life in the gym, but you are not in rodeo shape until you've been going for a few weeks and getting on multiple in those few weeks, because it does take time to get adapted to that amount of intensity every single time. And like, everyone's like, oh, 30 miles an hour, that's not that fast. Dude, I'm telling you, the impact over time, the repetitive impacts, like,
like Logan was just saying, you're going from 30 miles per hour to dead stop, pull back every single jump. 30 miles per hour, dead stop, pull back. So I mean, it's like, that's very repetitive stress. Over and over.
I just realized,
that's minus any wrecks. That's not
minus any wrecks. That's everything going perfect.
Goes good.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's cool. I didn't realize. I love that cue that Cade used.
Yeah,
they're like going at him from your lower back, like driving through there. Because I've been saying the same thing, but not that simply.
Yes.
And I'm just like, light bulb moment for me, like as a coach. Like,
well, it connects all the cues. It connects the driving of the hips. It connects the like, I don't want to I use the term pitching your feet, but it gets a negative connotation with people in the, I'm not talking about like pitching them, but sending those
power
feet
in your
forward.
Feet.
That's exactly right. Sending those feet forward, not just right back where they came from, and driving your hips all at the same time. Like it just connects everything. And that's the coolest part about coaching. And the thing that I'm addicted to is learning different cues, because everybody learns differently. And Doug can teach me a back squat and can tell me one thing, and I'm like, oh, I thought I was doing that. And then like Paul comes along and he's like, he says the same thing, but with just different words. And he maybe refers to a different part of my body. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like squeezing your shoulder blades together, like maybe there's like a, try to snap the bar. It's two different cues. And essentially they both are going to get the same result, but one just resonates with my CNS better, my brain. And I'm like, oh, okay. There. And so it's just, and in order to impact people and to help the most amount of people, we've got to learn the different cues. And that's one thing that I don't think anybody's doing at rodeo schools. Very few coaches are doing in strength and conditioning. It's like, this is my way. And it's like, push on your bull rope or lift on your bull rope, or there's like one, and it's like, you could use different words to say the same thing. And turns out you guys are both saying the same thing. You just don't even know it.
Yeah. That's what makes like OPA so magical.
I was just gonna say the same thing.
Because like you see that, like you'll see like I'm very adamant about watching like kind of results coming from different schools, and been to many different bull riding schools, and like you see a group of guys go to like one guy's school 50% of them come away learning something. The other 50% come away more frustrated than when they show up. At OPA, like you're getting different viewpoints, different cues from different guys. Like, you know, like we have more of the biomechanic kind of background, so like we can inject certain things, whereas like a Tim O'Connell or a Kate Saunier can like kind of, this is what I'm currently doing. And so like somebody's gonna get something. Like you're never gonna leave with nothing at OPA. Like you're gonna hear something that resonates with you every single time.
Yep, completely agree.
It's the best thing.
Magic. It's coming up.
It's coming up. Holy shnikes, dude.
Real fast.
It's unreal. I'd always do this to myself as we get closer. I'm like, we're 2 weeks away. Oh my God, what's happening? I have to do this. And I look at the calendar, like, oh no, we're 3 weeks away. It just feels like you're a week behind always. And we have more moving parts to this one than ever. We have all of these things that we like tried to upgrade and make the school or academy better with. And mostly it's bringing value to the guys, like getting more things in their hands. And so we've had a ton of partners that have signed on with us and are supporting the Optimal Performance Academy, and it's freaking sweet. But it is, I did not realize, I feel like the soccer mom right now with all of the goodies stacked in this room, like behind me. It's just a pile of stuff in boxes, and I'm just like, I don't even know how I'm going to get this all down there. But I'm going to start shipping that out next week. But we've got jeans for the guys. We've got t-shirts, polos. We've got button-ups coming for the coaches. Rodeo Now sent an entire swag bag for everybody.
That's so cool.
Turtle Box sent a handful of speakers to give away to guys. We're going to be giving away throughout the week based off of things they get done. Who's there to, to do the thing and to get the most out of it. And that's the best part, is you come to the school, that should be your goal anyways. And the more you learn, the more effort you put out, you have the opportunity of winning some really cool stuff and taking it home with you. So it's awesome.
Dude, the energy upgrade is going to be insane, which that's what I think makes OPA so cool anyways. The energy is always so high. And like, that's, I think that's like 90% of like what makes it cool is like guys just feel better. Like when you have that, like your physiology literally changes being there just because you're in the environment. I think now, like with things to give away and kind of like little awards, so to speak, like it's gonna level up even more, and it's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be awesome. And I just realized that we literally our OPAs have been done in complete silence. Literally, like what I mean by that is there's no background music ever. It's just us talking and the drills going on, right? So it's kind of like those people that work out with no music, and people walk in the gym is like, what is wrong with you? Like, I just can't wait to have like the turtle boxes are going to be so sick to have, to pump music and to just get that environment pumped up even more.
I'm excited to get to go. I've never been to the bull riding OPA, and so I'm excited to be down there. I'm just going to be there for a day. But if a turtle box comes up missing on like say Tuesday, like just I would blame Chase or somebody else.
Yeah, definitely Chase. Yeah.
Chase gets fired. What happened? What happened? He stole what? Oh my God! Well, I can't believe you do that. Oh man! Resist All sent some vouchers for some straw hats for the guys, so we've got a few of those to give out to guys. Kime sent jean vouchers, so every single guy and an athlete is going to get instead of Kime's Ranch jeans. So Hui hooking us up with some training t-shirts with the t-shirts that we love.
Is that a Hui cap you're wearing right now?
Yeah, dude. So
I was eyeing that. That's slick.
I really love it. Really love it. But you know me, I'm such a sucker for just simple.
Yes.
I like flashy stuff and loud stuff, but not in my hats and things like that. Hats always gray and black, brown maybe.
Yeah.
And this is my two favorite things.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. But they have a whole bunch of new stuff Hui does. So make sure y'all check them out. Get your Hui.com. Use our discount code Champion Living. Saves you some money at discount. This freaking pullover is my absolute favorite thing.
I
that
still
I've
haven't
gotten
gotten that yet. I need to order that. It's just
awesome.
sitting in the cart. I have the browser tab open, and I just haven't pulled the trigger.
I'm the same way. I've got to get
gotta
some.
buy-
I got to get some more hats because I'm hard on them. Like I go
Yeah.
through.
Same.
I'll order 10 at a time, and they won't last 6 months because like I'll mess up and freaking work in one or mow grass in one, and next thing you know, I got like now I have a couple of theirs that have that what's the
Death fabric, I think is what they
yeah,
call it.
they're like sweat resistant or whatever.
Yeah, the habitat hats.
Yeah, and I've actually put those in the washing machine,
Mm-hmm.
and I've washed them, and they come out great, and I've been able to get a lot more uses out of those. But
dishwasher for your other ones or any of them works really, really good on the top rack. You just drop them in and let them roll in like a quick cycle. But that always cleans them. And sometimes the washing machine will like
crumple.
If it's not that, it'll just make it crinkly. I hate that.
Yeah. It's been. I'm hard on them. I got to get some more.
Dude, I'm the same. I'll be doing stuff, and I just got these new ones. I have them on. I'm going out to do irrigation now. I was like, "You gonna wear that hat?" I'm like, "Yeah, I love it." She's like, "But you just got it. You're gonna ruin it." I'm like, "I know." So a week later, it's ruined. And I'm like, "Why did I do that?"
I don't even care.
Yeah. And then I took my favorite new habitat hat out on our bear hunt, and it just absolutely drenched that thing. So it looks like it has like white mountains up and down it from all the salt crystals in it.
That's
so
awesome.
It's not very presentable.
Speaking of hunting, can I please talk about bow hunting for just a second? Or shooting my bow? Okay, so one of the things that I've done recently is I watched. There's this guy on YouTube. You probably know of him, Crispy.
Yeah,
Crispy. And so I've been watching a lot of his YouTube stuff. Well, one of the things that he posted was this tutorial on how to fix target panic. Where you
don't have
explain target panic. Explain it.
Target panic's when you put the bow up or the gun up or anything like that, and you go to aim and you cannot focus. It falls apart. You are anticipating the shot going off the entire time. You cannot focus. You're not focusing on the system in place to actually make the firearm go off. Right. You punch it and then everything goes everywhere, and you freak out essentially, right?
Yeah.
And it's a wild thing because it is 100% between your ears, and it actually, a lot of target panic reminds me of things that happen in rodeo a lot, and it's just I think I've had target panic in the bareback riding many times.
For sure.
Well, that was what I was gonna say. And so I've not shot enough to say that I like for sure have target panic. But one of the drill to cure it was to go to like 6 yards and shoot like 30 to 50 arrows at 6, go back to 10, go to like 12 or 13.
But with the goal of being what?
While you're doing that. Absolutely dead center in the middle. Focus on your process and just the shot feeling good, and dead center of the small target at those, and just giving your brain permission to get it right, because that's where we overanalyze, and so at any rate, I've taken the last 4 or 5 days, and done that, and so I have shot a lot of arrows, probably 300 or 400 in the last 5 days. And I have it's been a bunch. But what I've noticed is how much better my shot feels. A lot of that is just consistency of shooting, whether I would have been shooting at 60 yards but just how much better my shot feels. And then my accuracy. I've taken even at longer distances, like I say, for me, longer distances is like 30 or 35 yards. I've taken an inch or 2 inches off of my accuracy across the board on the majority of my arrows at almost any distance up to like 35. I haven't gone any farther than that. And it's just been crazy. But my point being, the basics. Why does that work? Because it's the basics.
That's what everything is based around. You have to have the foundation. You doing that is the same thing as us saying to someone on a spur board when they get on and they start ripping them. It's like, whoa, what's happening? You're not doing anything correctly. You slow them way down, and it's like, okay, that one rep, like you drag your feet to the top and set them. I want that to take 8 seconds. One rep. And it's like, what? And then it seems so counterintuitive and not proactive when you do that, because you're like, in the real thing, it's going fast. I'm setting my feet fast. This is all happening so fast. It's like, you have no idea how to react to that. Your body has no idea, has never been trained to do something like that. It's the same thing as a bow.
Yes.
And bow hunting is different, and archery is different because it's the intensity is really high, but it's all on the inside of you. You are putting that pressure on yourself, right? That's why I love 3D shoots and these little like chances to be competitive, because I can't wait for Logan and Paul to go to their first ones. But you will, the first few shots, you're going to be like, what am I doing? You're it feels like you're about to get on a bucker, dude. Your heart's pounding through your chest. People are watching you, and you have the opportunity to let that all just unravel and go right between the ears. Is like, nope, I forgot my process. What happens? Bow went off. Where'd the arrow go? I don't know. But that's the game, getting to get yourself out of that. And that's what I love about it, is because it's the most, I love this comparison too, because hunting, you only get to do it a couple times a year, right? It's in the same sense as like rough stock. You don't get to go do that every single day. So how do you get better at being in those situations? It's like practice. And 3D shoots are the closest you're going to get to a hunting scenario, in the sense of getting that heart rate up. You're hiking, people are watching, your adrenaline's pumping. It's a great opportunity to practice your system and your process. And that's why I love those opportunities. But you going to 6 yards is the best thing you could have done. And also 35 yards is a solid shot, bro. Like we're talking about bow hunting. The whole goal is to kill those things at 10 yards.
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
That is the ultimate.
I watch too much YouTube.
Granted,
everything's like 42 yards, 87.
Guys, rodeo season is picking up. It's time to gear up with the best in the business. Beastmaster Rodeo is fully stocked and ready to get you dialed in for the rest of the season. If you're going to ride or compete at your best, you better get gear that works as hard as you do. They just launched their new Pro Gel line. This includes their neck rolls, rig and handle pads, Brazilian and American bull rope pads, and tailbone pads for all you rough stock riders. This stuff is a game changer. It's built to absorb impact, provide unmatched comfort. It's going to help keep you in the game and in the arena longer. And y'all, they're not stopping there. They have new boots, chaps, dummies, all are rolling out this season, so you can keep pushing the limits with the best in durability and performance. And as a listener to the Champion Living podcast, you get the exclusive hookup. Use our discount code Champion Living, all one word. Going to save you 10% on your entire order. Y'all, don't settle. Gear up for the best. Gear up with the best. Beastmasterrodeo.com. Check them out.
Yards. I was watching Chris B freaking smoke a 3D elk at like 110 or something like that.
Yeah,
It was
he
freaking
shoots
nuts.
that caribou at 111 and he wins the truck.
That was what it was.
Yeah.
That was the one I watched this morning while I was working
I'm going to try
out.
and win that truck this year.
Yeah.
Can we go back to something that you said at the very beginning, though, of like why that works? You said it gives your brain permission to get it right.
Ooh, yeah, there's something there.
Yeah, that goes for literally any skill that you're trying to master. And I think like in the rough stock, we're always like, you know, we three really harp on like, if you're struggling, get on less rank stock. Like, take a step back. Logan's freaking out.
He really agrees.
Continue.
Really
I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm going to grab a pen.
Yeah, but you got to get on less rank stock. Like, get on the jump kickers, get on the sweet hoppers, like get on stuff that you know you can win on in the practice pen. Like, win being I nailed the basics perfectly. Like, you have to go back to when you're in a slump, and I'm saying this especially for the bull riding, because like a buck off streak, you need to go back to hearing the whistle and like go back to the practice pen, get on the jump kickers, do everything perfectly. Don't just get on to get on to master the basics and master your process. And then you will go further faster by taking that step back, just like Logan just did with his bow. You take a step back and you have to put the ego in check. And it's like, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to shoot at
boring.
6 yards.
It's not
But
sexy.
3 days later, how much progress have you made?
Yeah.
You can do the same thing in the rough stock events. Probably any event, any skill.
The thing about that slow work is it lets you learn all of your equipment too, and the rigging and glove and or rope or whatever you're doing. It's the same way. Like, Logan knows how that bow goes off now. He knows how much pressure needs to be applied to his release to make it go off. There's no more of this like over pressuring it. He has like figured out probably the balance of where he needs to hold his hand with his on the bow, where he needs to be, how hard he needs to be pressing that release. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's and the same thing, you start figuring things out mechanically when you slow it down. that much in any event or anything you do in life.
The devil is in the details, you know, and it's like, it's just so much as like I have a trigger release. And so if my elbow's not up like it should be, my back elbow's not where it's at, that release hits me right, not at the end of my finger, but in here. And I have to trigger it to get it to go off. If I get in my spot and before I reach, I make sure my elbow's up high, I get that release deep in the, but it's literally my elbow. It feels like it's moving a foot. It's probably moving 3 inches as far as height goes. It's not moving a bunch, but that makes all the difference in the accuracy of my shot. And it's the exact same thing with bareback riding with almost any skill that you're working on. It's the tiny little deal, like the tiny little details that are gonna make the difference.
Something with those trigger releases, side note, that really helped me. When I get my finger on it, I try and just wrap it around to my other finger like I'm
Oh yeah.
I don't ever want to pull the trigger. I want to press the trigger.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. I've gotten to the spot where like I can just kind of graze it with my I have like a hook and I can feel it go off. That's how I know it's a good shot. I can feel it go tick tick tick.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like
It
you
should
can
surprise you a little bit.
Yeah, and
like,
it yeah,
oh yeah, there it
I'm
is.
like, oh, there it is. Pop my arm. Anyway,
Yeah.
all right, I'm geeking out, but yeah, it's a lot of fun.
That's cool, man.
Yeah,
it's cool to hear about this for you because this is a new hobby, but also like you're a guy that came from rodeo. Rodeo was pretty much your everything, right?
Yep.
And me and Paul were even said it was probably like 2 weeks before you got your bow. Like this dude needs a damn hobby. Like he needs something different to do, right? But dude, that story's the same for I think so many athletes that come out of rodeo. They don't have anything else, and that's okay because you were invested, you were in it. But that's also on the flip side why we see so many guys get in this depression or like slump after rodeo because there's nothing left after it. But there's all these hobbies that in the flip, they can make you a better rodeo athlete if you're doing those things rodeoing because you're learning things about yourself through something different than what you're just giving yourself every single day, which is the arena or whatever.
And it puts me in the shoes of the guys that I'm coaching in bareback riding. It's been so long since I was a beginner at bareback riding, but this whole learning a new skill, I have to go all the way back and I have to start from scratch. And so it puts me in their shoes. And that's one of the things that I'm really loving about it is it's an opportunity for me to learn a new skill and to be a good student. And to learn something the right way from the ground up. And so I'm getting to practice the things that I preach, as hard as that can be sometimes, but I'm also getting a lot of aha moments about coaching or being a student in general that I'm able to relay, like this morning, like this, the thought was that, you got to learn to win. Like, I think you said it, I took my headphones off, but that was exactly what you said. But Dustin Murray told me that, probably 3 or 4 years before I quit rodeoing. He was like, man, you just need to learn how to win. Like you need to go somewhere and learn how to win. Cause I'd been getting my butt kicked and I was whining about it. Well, and what that essentially means, we're talking about cues. What that essentially means is permission to get it right. Permission to do it well. We're always trying to have a good spur ride or to make the whistle, never doing. So it gives me opportunities to make those kind of aha moments. You guys connected the dots for me. And then it's like, man, that's valued for that I can give to clients.
I think the biggest thing is you got to take the pressure off. You got to find some way to relieve that pressure when you're doing whatever task it is that is causing you this anxiety or whatever, right? Or even just, it's such a, the amount of freeness you feel when you actually control what's happening in any kind of process, right? In archery, for me, I will punch that trigger. I will get back there and not focus. I'll get everything right. And I just won't focus where I'm aiming the pin. I'm like, oh, that feels good. It looks kind of good. Let it rip. Like, what are you doing? Like, and so I constantly have to tell myself, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. I tell myself the entire time from me pulling it back till that shot goes off, pay attention. But what that's doing for me is it's one thing I can tell myself that makes me dial into like 4 different things, right? I pull back, same as you, like elbows up. I'm one thing I do here is once I get it back, and I even have it set at the lightest amount of let off, right? Meaning when I pull that bow back, a lot of these bows that are 80 pounds, it'll have a 80% let off. So meaning it'll, when I have it all the way back, it's at 20 pounds and I'm holding it. So you can theoretically hold it back for a long time and not get fatigued. It's awesome for hunting situations, but it can kind of also cause problems when you're not keeping the tension back there because it's letting off so much it just gets wobbly, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's one of my things. I'll stop pulling back because it's so much of a let off. I'm like, oh, I got it there, no problem. And then I'm just floating on my front hand. I'm like, floating. Why won't this work? And I'm like, oh, you're not like pulling and pushing and making the actual machine, the equipment, do its job appropriately. But when you slow down and go to 6 yards, there's no more aiming. You're just concentrating on the fundamentals. And if you can remember those feelings of that perfect shot, that felt perfect, let's go to 20 yards. Where you hit doesn't matter. How it feels matters, because when it feels good, you're going to hit good if your bow is dialed, right? Same thing as your equipment in the arena. Rope, rig, saddles, all the stuff. Like, make sure you're using your equipment well. How many times do we see that in the bronc riding? Guys that got a saddle that's just a little bit too small or a little bit too big, and they can do everything on the
like shooting a bow with the wrong draw length.
That's exactly it, dude. That's exactly it. It's these things though you have to slow down and learn about the craft. Your tool is what gets you to the winning, to the stage, to the first place, to the checks. Like, no matter if it's a bow or a rigging or a rope or even a horse. Like, if you're a timed event athlete, you got to know your horse really, really well. And how many times do we just keep people just throw little, they don't get concrete to set. They just get the dirt and there's no water or mixture. They're just like, I'm halfway there. Let's go. And it doesn't work out.
You talked about like taking the pressure off, like however you can take the pressure off. Like, performance pressure is 100% in between your ears. It's all manufactured. There's no, like, whether it's coming from external, like somebody else's expectations of you, or your own, like, it all comes together in between your ears. Like, you make it pressure. You can also learn to take that pressure off. And the way you do that is by letting it happen, not forcing the outcome to happen. And so it's just like sticking with your process and going through your process in your bow, or going through your process in the chutes before you ride. Like, you have to let the process, I mean, you're doing it with intention, but you're letting the ride happen. You're letting the shot happen. You're not trying to force the outcome. Because if you just picked up your bow, forgot the process, and you're like, bullseye every time, like, you're not going to get it. Because you're trying too hard. It reminds me of the Forgetting Sarah Marshall, like the surfing scene. Do less. Do less. Yeah.
That's it. But when I was thinking about what you were saying, Logan, with everything, when as humans we get naturally really excited about the finish of something, right? And in archery especially, this has taught me that you've got to follow through with everything that you do. And what I mean by that is, when you shoot your bow, and if anyone shot your bow, you'll know this, especially when you're beginning, and even when you're not, and you've been doing it for years like I have, you will occasionally get up there, you're like, rip, you let it rip, and you just dump that bow and look at it with your head, and you're like, and then the shot goes way down and to the left or whatever, and you're like, why did that happen? Everything felt good. But if I don't see the arrow hit through my peep, which is like my cue that I've followed through with the process, because if I can do everything right, but if I don't see it hit through my peep, meaning I kept my bow up there and I didn't dump it away to look, it's not going to go well, and I know that. And so the feeling, I aim to where I want to hit, yes, but I know when that bow goes off and I see it hit the target through my peep, it's going to be a good shot. Like yesterday, I really realized it. I was just paying attention to my process, and I was pulling and pushing, and everything was rock solid. And I honestly don't even remember where I aimed, but that shot went off, and I saw it hit, and I was like, that was a perfect shot. I did 3. I posted on my outdoor story, but like my third hit the other arrows, was like rack. I was like, oh man, like that's a group. That's what I'm looking for. But I realized I had never sat there and been like, you've got to hit the middle. You've got to hit right behind the shoulder. I just pulled back. Nose is on this string. I'm looking through the peep. Don't punch it. Just like keep pulling and just press it away and just watch it hit through your bowstring, essentially. Like,
let me ask you something, because I've noticed this with the traditional bow, at least. I would assume it's probably the same. with the compound and having the peep sights, I'm never surprised. By the time I release the string, I'm never surprised if I'm on or if I'm off target.
Like instantly.
Before you release, like the moment that you release, if it's going to hit or not. Is that the same?
Yeah.
Same exact thing. And that's the pay attention part for me is if I don't do that, I'll just get it back there and let it rip. I'm like, that was terrible. Like, what just happened? It's like, well, you didn't do anything that you normally do. Pay attention to your process, right? And it's little things like I could just pull it back and have my hand pointed a different way than I normally would, and thinking about something else. But it's that you got to make yourself do it. It's the discipline of doing that stuff slowly and learning the feelings of winning, right? And like it's whether it's the arena or not, or shooting your bow. That feeling when the shot goes off perfect, kind of surprises you, and it hits exactly where you want. I need to repeat that. And when I don't, and when it doesn't go my way, I instantly, my brain goes, "Yep, you didn't do this step. You missed this step. Like, you dummy. What were you doing? You just weren't thinking. You weren't paying attention. You just got in a hurry." And archery, spur board, roping a dummy, all of those things, you could do those mindlessly. So easy. You don't have to think a bit. You could just rip it back and let it roll. But there's a huge difference in doing a hobby just to let some air out, essentially, or you're actually practicing something, a skill, a sport that you want to get better at and potentially make a living at. As a rodeo athlete, I don't think many archers are making a living just shooting bows, but there might be a few. Hui has the best gear because it's tough, it's durable, it withstands the test of what we put it through, and that is why I am a big supporter of Hui brands. Guys, from hats, apparel, whatever you need, they've got you covered. They are the perfect blend of rodeo style and athletic performance. You can check them out at huibrands.com. Use our discount code ChampionLiving, all one word, is going to save you a little bit at checkout. Either way, you got to do it.
I have a really hard time doing something and liking it and not wanting to be really good. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where that's why I'm so addicted, I think, is because I really enjoy it. I was thinking about, we've talked about bow hunting this whole time, and Paul shoots a traditional bow, but Paul's thing that you share in common with him is fly fishing. Like
same thing, man.
I could care less, but it's the exact same thing, right? But it doesn't do it for me. I don't mind going or whatever, but it's like I could just float the river. I would be equally happy floating the river as opposed to fishing the river if I'm fly fishing. And it just doesn't do it. But like anything that we do that I like I want to be really good. And so that's it's a tough quality to have, because the thing then that you picked up for relaxation now does not become relaxing anymore, because you're like, I want to freaking win.
Dylan and I were talking, and Dylan is one of our good buddies. I've known Dylan for close to that's so scary to say, like 15 to 20 years I've known Dylan. We grew up down in Texas together, but he rode bulls. He's been around the rodeo world, and he is a huge part of our OPAs. We couldn't do him without him. I'll say it right now. Like literally, that guy has saved our asses more times than I can count, and does it with a smile on his face every time. So we love you, bro. But he's a huge hunter, man. Him and another one of our buddies. I don't know if you guys have ever met Jake Stickler, but he used to be hell of a bullfighter as a construction company. Now lives down there in Texas with him. But they hunt all the time together, and Jake is pretty intense guy, and he likes. Have you guys seen Elk Shape? Like it's a hunting training.
Yeah, I followed them on Instagram the other day.
Yeah,
I think
I love his content. His workout styles are just not.
That's
not
him?
my stuff. That's not Jake. Jake is doing his workouts.
Oh, he's doing his workouts.
Yeah, but it's like a CrossFit base, right?
Yeah,
and Dylan was kind of talking to me about training and how they differ. I'm like, like it's personal preference there. But if what you're doing is correct, and then they're shooting together, and they were going to TAC in Oklahoma, Total Archery Challenge, and I don't know why guys get so riled up about there is no real competition. You're just shooting. Like it's among your buddies. There's no like real winner.
Oh, but
he was getting wigged out, man. He was killing himself in his head because of that mentality. Like they just, you want to win. You got to be good. And he called me one day, kind of going through some target panic stuff. And I was like, are you having fun? And he's like, no, this sucks. I hate it. Like, let's make it fun, dude. Like, why do you do this? Because it's a blast. Why are you putting all this pressure on yourself? I don't know. It's like, have you asked yourself why you're doing that? Nope. Just been rolling with it. And so we all get caught in those head traps, right? And you got to just slow down and say, like, is this feeling really something that should be warranted? Is this real? I don't think my wife listens to too many episodes, so we'll talk about this, but even daily life stuff, man, you can get caught in a negative headspace, and energy feeds energy, right? So happy go lucky all the time, it's not reasonable. You're going to have those days where you're not feeling awesome, but it's the awareness of what are those feelings real? Are we having a bad day because something bad did happen? Or are we having a bad day because we're a little frustrated or didn't sleep enough or annoyed with something else, in which I'm going to turn around and just put my energy towards someone else and take it out on them, right? That happens all the time. And usually with the people closest to us, because they're just right there. And it's not that you want to do that, but it happens all the time. And one thing you can do is same this whole process we've been talking about. They're different, but they're the same. And it's all it is being aware of what your thoughts are and what those feelings are, and if you're actually taking action into them, and if that is all warranted, right? So slowing it down, thinking like, did that person really piss me off, or is that one of my things? And that's not really anybody else's problem. It's just my own that it upsets me, right? There's all kinds of things that throughout the regular day that I'm just like, yeah, I could do without that, but that's not that person's problem for doing it. It's mine because it annoys me. Like it's just same sense, like not having fun shooting your bow, not having fun rodeoing. Why? What's going on in the head? Is it because you're not winning? Are you putting all this pressure on yourself to pay your bills every month with it? And that's not a reasonable expectation right now, because that was me when I rodeoed. I was a college rodeo athlete. I was 75 on average. I wasn't winning many checks, and I put so much pressure on myself to win money, but I wasn't at that level yet. I needed to slow down and go backwards before I could get back to get to that place I wanted to be, which never really happened because what was between my ears and injury.
Yeah. I don't know. I just want to like make another point. I don't know about Paul's household. I would assume that it's the same way, but here, that feeding energy that you brought up is never more prevalent than in a house full of children. And how you start the day, right? My attitude and my wife's attitude when the kids come tottering down the hallway, or how we start our morning, seems to be the way that the day goes.
100%.
And when they're getting to that age where we're like wrestling and we're fighting, and then somebody gets hurt, and we're like, and I like, it's incredible to see how crap runs downhill. I've always heard that.
Or
But
uphill.
when, Lacey's wore out and something small and insignificant that the kid does, that, I mean, it's annoying, but it's really not a reason to snap. But like she snap, or I snap, right? Like I'm not putting it on her, or I snap on something, and and next thing you know, Conley's barking at the boys, and then like they're upset, and somebody's crying, and they're going outside, and it's like, cool, it's 7:15 in the morning, and our day is like, we're gonna have to work really hard to get back on track from that. It's just crazy because they catch everything. Your attitude especially.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not just kids, man. That's everybody.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They can feel it. What were you gonna say, Paul?
I was just gonna say, yeah, it is wild. You can reflect on at the end of the day, after the kids go to bed and it finally gets quiet, and you're like, man, today was kind of rough. Like, what went wrong? Like, what happened? And it, like you said, it's almost always the first 30 to 45 minutes of the day did not start correctly.
How do you turn that around, though?
Intention, man.
Like drastic intention.
Yeah, you just got to be really intentional. Like if we're like, kind of, I don't know, like not feeling like taking the morning off, so to speak, like, oh yeah, kids, like go watch TV, like while we make coffee and get around or whatever. Like that's going to mess up the rest of the day. Like if they're not engaging and they're not using their minds in the first part of the day, like then there's usually a trickle effect of like, you know, I'm
laziness throughout the day.
I'm a firm believer that, like, you know, television is just poison. Like I hardly ever watch TV because like there's almost nothing good that comes from it.
No, we don't even have television.
Yeah, I'll watch YouTube videos to learn something, but like that's it. Like I'm not consuming anything. But yeah, it just takes like massive intention and like saying no a lot, I think, in the morning, like because they do have like, you know, they eat candy or sweet treats or, you know, watch TV, like they think they can do that like all the time. And so like they'll be asking, it's like, no, like we can't do this right now. Like first, like let's eat a nutritious breakfast. Like let's sit down and like let's do artwork for a little bit, like, you know, draw or do your math or something, like get their brains working. That's kind of how you shift the energy, at least in our household. Just get them doing something. And exercise, obviously, first thing in the morning is always a really good tool too. There's speaking of YouTube, like using his resources, like there's a couple like fitness things on YouTube for kids, like Danny Go, or like some of these other like YouTube channels where like you can put that on and they can follow along on a workout. So like those are really, really helpful too. But
I find that it's just that they didn't feel heard, or that they were misunderstood a lot in our house with 4 kids. It's just chaos all the time, and so nobody gets a lot of one-on-one attention, and so they either feel like they were misunderstood and they got in trouble for something that they didn't do, or they just weren't heard. And so like taking the culprit aside, if you will, and just being like, hey, like, what's up? God, like I want you to know that I love you, and I'm sorry that we started our morning off wrong. Like, but just taking a few minutes and like being intentional about it usually turns the day around.
Yeah, for adults too, man. Get going in the morning. Go do something. Don't just sit there and watch the news and sit on your ass. Like, I notice big differences when I get up, read, whether it's a any kind of book, the Bible, education, like business, like read something, get my brain going, then I go get my body moving, and the day so much better. It's insane how much better it is.
Yeah, it's hard for me to. Oh, go ahead,
do not
Paul.
open social media first thing in the morning.
No,
I have made that rule. I don't know how long I've been sticking to it now, but man, it is huge. Like I cannot believe the difference of like how rushed and panicked you feel just by opening up your phone and looking at social media in the first few hours of being awake. Like it is wild.
Yeah, I completely agree. I love it so much. My mornings are my favorite, which everybody's like either a morning person or a night person or whatever. And they usually marry each other. However, like I love the morning time so much. Like, I mean, I've been in this season of life where I'm not traveling very much. So I can get up at 4:00, and I get up at 4:00, and I'm able to spend until like 4:30, 4:45, like reading and just like for me, I just sit with the Lord or whatever, right? Just quiet time. Right? Drink some coffee, sit down. But then I have like from 4:45 until the kids get up at 6 to get started on a little bit of work. And it gets me a jump ahead later in the day where I don't feel as guilty, and I still get a plenty done by being able to go and play ball with the kids at 1:00 in the afternoon, or, you know, or play Uno when I take like just whatever. Right. Because and so I think that, but I'm the exact same way. I cannot open my phone until I start work for the day. Otherwise, I will look down, and it happens. It's happened to me plenty of times in the past where I'm like, where did the last 25 minutes go? Like, what just happened? I just wasted my whole time that I was going to sit here and read by getting lost in the scroll. It just is. It just
that little
sucks you
reactive
in.
thumb gets you, man. Like,
Man, I'm
just open it
telling
for
you,
no
dude.
reason sometimes, and it's like, oh, how did I get here?
Yeah, it's
an addiction.
It's wild. Yeah.
Let's talk about something good on Instagram, though. Did you see my post with John Adams?
Yes.
Not the guy who wrote the Constitution, but our good friend John Adams.
I don't think so.
They're both good friends.
Yeah, both good friends. John is an absolute gem of a human. You've met him at service schools before at the ranch. He is the guy that is always there, always first to help, and he has the giant mastiff that Lou was always playing with. Anyways, I had known him for years before last year when he decided he wanted to start working out with us. He had seen probably 4 or 5 schools that I had done. He had heard me talk to the kids. He had a full shoulder reconstruction in, let's say, May last year is when he started. So I want to say February of 2024, something like that. And he's like, man, I need to get in better shape. I want to be able to keep coming to these schools and like helping out and working neck ropes and doing all these things. He's 61 years old now. And he's like, will you train me? I said, yeah, I would love to. It's actually one of my favorite things is getting to work with, I hate saying older guys, but compared to the normal athlete we get to work with, he's definitely a little bit older. So more than double some of these guys' ages, right? And seeing someone like that, like learning new tricks, if you will, at an older age is awesome. And so I posted a video of, we were talking on the phone. I was like, man, I need to do a comparison video of all your stuff. And he's like, yeah, I would love to see that. And so I did it and just showed him from his first week. The first videos are his literal first couple days of his evaluation. He's doing some air squats, some split squats. I was talking about how it doesn't need to be perfect. You just need to show up and do it. And I told him that, and I said, it's just do it. You need to be consistent, man. If you're consistent 3 days a week for this next year, you will be a different person. And so those next few clips got to show him at 6 months, and they showed him where he is now. And the dude isn't just consistent, he's absolutely dedicated to what he's doing. And in those videos you could see it because he works out in full denim. So denim long sleeve, denim jeans, boots. He's in his barn, horses are there. He's still in that barn in December when it's -20 out. He's just in a full Carhartt overall suit. He's got his hat on, he's got full gloves on, and he's still getting the work in. He doesn't take no for an answer. He doesn't let shit get in his way. And a year in, this guy moves better than half of the guys we coach sometimes. Like, it's wild. And he is, again, more than double their age. Some of these guys, he's 3 times their age, and he is moving better and feeling better than he ever has. And so I forgot to tell him that I posted it, and he just sent me a text, and he said, those are the kindest words. Can't wait for the next year. It's like, he's already in for the next year. He already sees the value in it because his life and quality of life has gotten so much better. It's like, that for me is so cool. This is the best part. Like, I love training champions. I love training world champs. I love seeing guys, helping them start at OPA and then watching them go win San Antonio and San Angelo. Like, that's awesome. But dude, like, if you only understood, if people only really knew how difficult it was at that age to make a change like that and to break all those 60-year-old habits. We talk about habits as a 20-year-old or these kids, 25-year-old, and those are hard to break. Add 3 times the amount of time to that and talk about having a difficult time breaking habits and creating new routines. Like, he's an anomaly. He is one of a kind. There are not many people doing that. So I posted it like 4 days ago and I'm still excited about it. Like, still, I've watched it back every day, at least one time a day. Cause I'm just like, man, that's what it's about. When I started coaching 15 years ago, like, that's why I started doing it, was to help people feel better and age better. In the middle, we had some other goals that came up. We got to help high, what's the word I'm looking for? High performing athletes.
Yep.
But it doesn't, we help everybody. And that's kind of the whole point of me bringing this up is, yeah, we get to train athletes and we train really, really good athletes, but that's not all we train. And that's not all of the people that we help. We help everybody in the rodeo world. So whether you're a contractor, you're just around it. Like, John is one of the main committee guys at Estes Park. So if you go to Estes Park, you're going to see John run around with a smile on his face the entire time, no matter what time of day it is. And he's fired up to help and do something. And what do you say? The other day he's doing something at a rodeo. He's like, sorry, I didn't work out today. I ran the mutton bus and I wrestled sheep all day. I was like, that's at 61 years old. Hell yeah, dude. Like, yeah, you did. You wrestled. Like, that's not an easy job. That's not an easy job for us. When, like, we get asked to do stuff like that. Like, it sucks. So the point is, you can do this no matter how old you are. And
I hope that post showed people like the realness in it, because his squat and his split squat on our day one weren't atrocious. He did better than any 60-year-old I know, but like
Yeah.
they were not good. His
Yeah.
mobility was
Yeah.
poor. His strength was poor. And now he's doing those squats under resistance. And on his, if you'll watch it on his explosive up, so he's got like, I have a lot of tempo with him, so he's controlling the eccentric, holding an ISO, and I always have him explode up because I want him to keep that in his brain, like that the body does that. We have explosive parts of us, we don't lose that, right? I don't love having him jump and drop off of things, so that's a way that I can still train that,
Yep.
right? And dude, he fires out of the hole so fast. It's unreal. Like he just stands up. You're like, oh shit. Like, dude, that was explosive. That was really good. Chest stays vertical, torso is upright. Like his form is spotless. And one of the major, like, it's a flex for me, I always feel this, is when you post something and other coaches that are in different realms comment on it, and they're like, that's awesome. Like that's how it's supposed to be. And there's a couple people like I look up to, like Josh Clay. He's in New York. We've been I know all of us have followed him for a long time. He is an absolute stud of a coach. And it's just someone when he comments on something is like, right on, dude. Like I know that it's right on. Like that is a good thing. And you guys probably the same. You have certain people that when they say something to you, it means a lot more than what others say, right? And so, and like the guys at Acumen, like Leanne and Mike, like when they comment on our stuff and like, yes, that's what it's about. Like, dude, it makes me know that we are doing the right stuff and we are on the right path. And not that I ever thought that, but if anyone's been on a path for a decent amount of time, you get that in your head. You get that. Are we even doing this right? Is this really working? Holy shit, we're actually doing it. This is good. So that was one of my cool coaching experiences as of lately that has just had me fired up and thinking even more about like how can we help a different demographic of people, right? It's kind of hard because it just makes I feel like it confuses things a little bit because we're like, we have this to offer, and we train rodeo athletes and quote unquote old people. Like it's like, what do you do for real though? It's like, we just help everybody.
Yeah.
So if you know anyone, and you're listening to this that wants to get started in moving and doesn't know where to start, we can absolutely help. And we don't just work with rodeo athletes. We work with everybody. And like I said a million times, I got a 93-year-old I have a 93-year-old grandfather. I say great grandfather because I was talking to Wilder this morning. I was like, you're going to meet your great grandpa next week. He's actually coming here. But that dude works out twice a week. He still does stuff. He's on the app. Still kits complete on the workouts. So
what's your excuse?
93-year-old Bill can do it. Like
I've got all kinds of guys that can't hit complete. Oh, sorry. I look at it, but then
dude, I get on their ass about that because it's like, I'm putting the time in here, dude. I'm writing your workout. I really care about how you do and what the numbers are. So when you write nothing, it tells me I can't do anything. So what's the point? Why are you even paying me?
Yeah.
If that's the case, just hand me the money and I won't write anything. It'd be a lot easier. But dude, Mason Clements is a really good example.
Yeah.
An elite athlete. They just get lazy, man.
Yeah.
They've been doing this for so long. It gets not fun. But my job is to make sure he's accountable and make sure he puts that in because I need to know to help him the best of his ability.
Yeah.
Every time he doesn't, I call him. I'm like, you want to win a world title? Yeah. Why the F are you not putting your stuff in? I can't do anything for you.
Well, it starts with the details.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, you're right. My bad. I got it. So go back and refill it out, But that's our job as coaches. And that's what a lot of people are missing. So if that's the accountability is something you're missing, that's what you get. That's part of the deal with us is like, you get that. We will be on you about it because that's our job. That's what you're paying us for. We're going to be buddies, but first and foremost, we're going to be a coach and an athlete. We definitely are not yes men when it comes to that stuff. I had something else, but now I can't remember what it was. Oh, I did something so dumb, and I want to talk about it because I feel like other people will do such stupid things like this too. Back to the spring bear hunt has been way different than anything I've gone into a hunt preparation wise being like. And what I mean by that is had the first child in December. It's been 4 months of I haven't squatted heavy. I haven't lunged. My training has been up and down, right? And I've never had that before. So I've never had any issue going from the winter to carrying a pack and doing stuff. Well, we were going in for 4 days. So when you go in for 4 days, you pack a lot of stuff. My pack was probably close to 80 pounds.
Did not step wrong, did not have a fall, nothing. Just straight up strained my quad to the point where like could barely get off the mountain because of the way of the pack and the lack of my preparation. And it literally went straight to my head, and I said, many other guys throughout a season or a year do this, especially, you know, elk or deer or something like that, or even just like a hiking trip or a camping trip. You overestimate your abilities and are not realistic about what you've been doing or not been doing, and then we get hurt. And the other thing, part of that I thought about is like, dude, I thought I tore something in my knee. Like it hurt that bad. Like 800 milligrams of ibuprofen just to get down off the hill, kind of a deal. And I was like, I hate believing this, that you turn 35 and you just fall apart, but everyone said this and I hate it. I'm not, nope. But I know how to fix this, right? I knew that I did some self-evaluation. I knew that I did not have a structural issue to my knee. My knee was fine. I had a really severe VMO strain where it attached to my knee, which was causing a ton of pain, right? One thing I know as a coach, isometrics are going to be the number one way to make sure that pain goes away. So I've been doing a lot of isometrics for that quad. Straight leg holds with a band. I'll do a single leg extension hold with a cable. Isometric lunge holds, but with my knee a little bit more over my toe. So I'm actually activating that quad and not relying on that hamstring and glute so much. I want that quad to fire and hold. Tibialis raise, Patrick steps, all of the traditional knee rehab type stuff too. We are 6 days past when we came out of the mountain, and I am 95% better. Like no limp today, feeling better. But my brain went again to like the average common person who doesn't have the knowledge to fix that, and I gimped around here pretty good for 3 days. Like was limping pretty hard, and up and down the stairs was hard. I moving irrigation pipes. I had to move half the line and take a break because it hurt so bad, and then go back to it. And I can't do life like this. This is absolutely holding me back. And so if you're going through stuff like that, or you have a trip coming up like that where you are going to be exerting yourself physically, be realistic with where you're at. Start thinking about what do I need to do to get myself actually ready for this, because even the weight room, man, how many times do we see that 40-year-old, 36-year-old guy that hasn't lifted since he was 18, but lifted a lot when he was in high school, and goes right back to those numbers and lifts and intensity and gets really hurt really fast? It was just you just didn't think about it, right? We just didn't know. And if I'm doing this as a professional strength coach, I know other people are making that same mistake. So if you guys do have trips, or you're going to be going on a backpacking trip or a hunting trip this fall, we're almost to June. So you're about 3 months out from this stuff, and it's coming up quick. You need to get started on training and doing it correctly. Go ahead and check out our Champion Living Fitness app. We've got a program called Outdoor Champs. It's $9 a month. It's very affordable, and it literally will get you in bulletproof shape for the mountains or whatever you're doing. Even if you're chasing the kids around, it'll get you in great shape for that. We got resistance training. We've got some cardio type stuff. We've got lots of mobility, because I think that gets overlooked in the mountains big time. Every time I go to step up over a big log and my hips like totally externally rotated, I'm like, oh, thank God I do that mobility. All those glute mobilizations and glute isos keep this strong. But for real, strap 50 pounds on your back and go climb over that tree. Now we've got a lot of instability that enters the equation, and you've got to be able to compensate, right? So you're not bulletproof forever, but you can be. So keep training and get the work done. Let's see here. What day is it? Will we have things come out? We got 2 or 3 weeks till this. So our school comes up in the first week of June, and I just got invited to the Red Bull Farmer Rancher Strong competition. I'm going to bring your action figure with me.
Yeah.
I'm going to dress up as the action figure you made. Yeah, I thought that was dumb to apply, because of course they're like, yeah, it'd be cool. Come on. Yeah.
I started, me and Heather were driving, and she goes, what? She saw the text pop up on the dash, and she's like, what was that? And I was like, well, Doug kind of applied for this fitness competition, and he got accepted. So
I saw the email last night. I was like, ooh, I should probably really get on this knee rehab now. to get this fixed. I don't want to show up and look dumb. But anyways, that's going to be in Fort Worth at the Coliseum. So any of y'all that are in Dallas, Fort Worth area and want to come see this this Red Bull event, it's going to be, I think it's going to be very entertaining, very fun. They've got a lot of they call them superstars, but like guys like Rich Froning. I forgot who are the others. There were a couple other fitness people from CrossFit World that are coming, but it's like an obstacle course. It's a mix of CrossFit, High Rocks, and something else. I'll have to read it, but essentially you start on top of a barn, quote unquote, and you climb these monkey bars down, and then you run around, you jump in a saddle, you have to rope a steer, so like a dummy, and then you're going to row that steer. It's on a sled with wheels and weight. You row it there. And then you got to run, and you got like single leg bound to logs that are like diagonal from each other. And then there's a whole like a haystack or something you got to climb up and over. I'm going to crush it. These fuckers have no idea what's coming. You better look out.
That's exciting.
Yeah. I thought it was a, I remember when I applied and I was like, so I just did this and I might regret it. And Logan was laughing the entire time. And then I sent the text us. He's like, oh, you're redneck. Yeah, I know.
You're in now.
Yeah, we're in now. But anyone who's there, tickets are cheap. Come check it out. It's at the Coliseum, the only one in Fort Worth. So it'll be fun. Be a good time, and I'll be there. So come hang out. Would love to see you guys. But one last favor, please, please, please. If you guys have any friends or family that would enjoy this podcast or get some good information out of it, will you just help them out and help us out and shoot it over to them? We're trying to grow our listeners, our numbers. Podcasts are extremely hard to grow because literally the only place you find out about them is when you listen to them. So we're just kind of relying on some word of mouth here. And if you know anyone that would benefit from this, please send it over to them. Make sure you're following us on whatever platform you're listening on, whether it's Apple, Spotify. YouTube now is the only place you can watch our live videos. So you can get all of our full episodes there. You can watch our ugly faces, yell at each other. It's a great place. But go ahead and give us press the subscribe button on YouTube. And guys, we appreciate all the support. And until next time, we'll catch you later. If you want to learn more about our coaches and program options, make sure to swing over to our website at www.championlivingfitness.com. You can fill out the Become an Athlete form to set up your free consultation and have all your questions answered by a coach.